Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Authentic Newsroom. Today, we are here at the Ghana International Press Center for the press conference organized by the National Bank of Ghana about a contract that was given it to the managing director's wife company, which is Aki Consult. A lot of accusations and claims have been on this contract, but today they are addressing the media on it. Let's go inside and listen to what they have to say.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen from the media. You are all welcome to this important press conference by the National Bank of Ghana, dated 4th April 2022 at the International Press Center. Dawu Blessing Yaira is my name and your moderator for today. In the middle is Mr. Philip Opare, the first Deputy Managing Director of the National Bank of Ghana. And to my far left is Miss Nadia Donko, the second Deputy of the bank. And then Miss Portia Jan, the accountant for the National Bank of Ghana. At this point, we'll call on Mr. Philip Opare to address the press on the issues relating to our planned rebranding exercise and award of contract to Aki Consult.
My name is Opare Philip Jr. I am the Deputy Managing Director of the National Bank of Ghana. And on behalf of the Board of Directors of this bank, I would like to welcome you all to the International Press Center of Ghana. The rationale behind this press conference is to address our cherished customers and the general public on issues surrounding our intended rebranding exercise, as well as the awarding of a contract to Aki Consult. After months of careful thoughts and deliberation, the Board of Directors of the National Bank of Ghana, in consultation with shareholders, resolved to rename the bank as Ghana National Bank of Commerce and Development. This decision is in response to our quest to re-evaluate the bank's image and expand our services to a wide array of people. We resolved that by rebranding, we will create a visual identity that could be conveyed on a multitude of platforms and set the bank up high with a simple and lively style. The rebranding is very, very necessary due to the acquisition of an e-commerce platform that will expand the bank's activities to everyone across the globe. This platform, when introduced to the public, will be a major game changer in the digital currency market. As you are all aware, the leadership of the National Bank of Ghana has received several backlashes from a section of the public on the adoption of a restricted procurement method, which has subsequently led to the awarding of a rebranding contract to Aki Consult. We wish, therefore, to state emphatically that the Board of Directors' decision to adopt a restricted procurement method was not fueled by any element of cronyism or cynicism, as it is being widely publicized. Contrary to the speculation out there, the managing director of the bank, Ms. Ekuya Mwadakwa, was urged by some board directors to recuse herself from the internal body that superintended over the procurement and tendering process. The other board members affirmed that the presence of the managing director on the procurement committee could spring up a conflict of interest and agitation since her husband's consortium, that is, Aki Consult, was among the bidders. Subsequently, the managing director recused herself from the procurement and tendering process and allowed the internal structure to deal with the process professionally. It is relevant to note that as part of the procurement and tendering exercise, the National Bank of Ghana publicized a document which you can find on our website, which detailed the rules of engagement in relation to the tendering process. A 2-week moratorium was given for interested companies to tender in their bids, of which a lot of companies did. After analyzing all the bids, the Board of Directors, in consultation with the Market Analysis Directorate, decided to adopt a restrictive procurement approach as a lot of the bidders couldn't meet the bank's demands. The board of directors ultimately shortlisted consortiums, which are Aki Consult, Akwafu Consulting Incorporation, and Laser Consult. The restricted procurement procedure was in two stages, and I would like to share that with you. The first stage was the selection process where the bidder's capability and experience to perform the contract was assessed. The second stage encompassed an invitation to tender in the bids. The bids were subsequently assessed to determine the most economically advantageous tender. After a thorough analysis of the three bids, the board of directors were impressed. Like, we were really, really impressed by Aki Consul's bid. The board of directors subsequently felt that the Aki Consul's bid was economically advantageous to the bank as it limits cost on the National Bank of Ghana. In addition, the board of directors felt that Aki Consults had the capacity, a wealth of experience, and then the tenacity and impetus to do a good job. These aforementioned factors influenced the board's decision to award Aki Consult the contract for the rebranding. With this background information and explanation that I've given to the press, I would like to call on all the customers, and with this background information and explanation that I've given to the press, I would like to call on all customers of the National Bank of Ghana and then the general public to disregard all reportage and news feeds that claims that the procurement process was fueled by cronyism. Thank you for coming to this press conference.
All right. So it's now time for questions. We'll take two at a time. So kindly raise your hand if you have a question. You'll mention your name and the media house. Thank you. The lady in black and the lady in red.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity. So, my name is Ekiakali Oche from Joy News. And to my question, so I understand that the board of directors played a crucial role in the selection of Aki Consult for the branding exercise. I would like to know if the board consulted marketing experts in to help them in the tendering process. Thank you.
My name is Rosina Cherma from 3news.com. I want to know how long did it take to review the bids that were submitted, and why did you decide to turn down bids of many companies? Thank you.
So Mr. Philip Opare will be answering the first two questions for us.
So, as I said early in my presentation, I mentioned that there was a consultation between us, the board directors, and then the market analysis directorates of the bank. We tasked them to research on the bidders, and then they gave us their recommendation. Aside that, too, we had the Marvin Market Analysis Company who also worked in tandem with the market analysis directorates of our bank. And so after everything, they recommended to us that Aki Consults had the right experience. They had the experience to do the job. So that is why we chose Aki Consults, basically. All right, with your second question, it took the bank 3 months for us to find the right bidder. Okay, as I say early on, the market analysis directors of our bank did an intensive research, and then we realized that Aki Consult was the right fit. Okay, and we also decided to use a restrictive procurement method because we realized that a lot of the companies who tendered in their bids didn't have the right requirements or didn't meet our requirements. Okay, some of them did not have enough experience when it comes to rebranding and all that. So the three companies that we shortlisted had the requirements. Okay, but obviously, Aki Consult stood like was better when it comes to what they presented to us.
Yes, so we'll take the next questions from the two ladies in the middle. Yes, please.
I'm reporting for Happy FM, and
I'm in the person of Isahu Mukusum. So, in an interview with our sister station, the CEO of Dance Consult, who were part of the shortlisted companies, says one of the board members asked for money. They asked him to pay money. And then, yes, ask him bribe. So, have you heard about that? And what are your response? Thank you.
My name is Ikea Free Boating, and I'm reporting from GH1 TV. Thank you. There have been reports that the recent agitation will force the National Bank of Ghana to terminate its contract with Aki Consult. What's your response on that? Thank you.
So the happy FM journalist, if I got your question right, you said that you've heard that um, one of the consulting companies, one of the CEOs of the consulting companies actually says or alleges that he gave money to one of the board members. Honestly, I've not heard anything like that. And well, it is something that myself and then the other board members would want to launch an investigation into. So when we launch the investigation into, we'll know the authenticity of this story, and then we'll have ways of dealing with it. So with the second question, I would like to leave it to the second deputy managing director to talk about it.
Okay, so answering our lady from GH1, IKEA, right? Yes. There will be no termination of contracts because everything is done. Do you get me? Everything is done. We had a thorough agreement with Aki Consult, and a contract has been signed, and actually they have started work. But we just wanted to address the media and clarify any doubts they have about this contract. That is why we are here today. So the answer is no. There will be no termination of contract.
Hi, my name is Kimberly Dakwa, reporting from Ghanaian Times newspaper. I would like to know if you can share the details of the contract with us.
So my name is W. Teresa, reporting from City TV. So my question is, until this year, you had not used a restricted procurement method in your dealings. So do you plan of adopting the restricted procurement method in future procurement processes? Thank you.
So, answering the question on the details of our contract, I would say um, the agreements we signed with Aki Consult actually is a non-disclosure agreement, meaning the content of the contract is confidential. So we are sorry we wouldn't be able to give you that details you require. Thank you. And also to answer if we would be adopting the restricted procurement method in future, I would say that my colleague here mentioned that when we made the public know that we needed a company to help us in the rebranding of our bank, we had a number of companies flooding our mail. So we needed a strategy to actually cut off the number, which we arrived at the three main companies that we later chose Aki Consult to. So yes, as a company growing in this fast technology era, we are looking forward to adopting the restricted procurement method in our future plans. Thank you.
So, any other business? Okay. So, our deputy managing director would like to attend to you after the press conference. Thank you all for your time. Have a lovely week.